Hi, hello guys, and welcome to another class. This topic, our topic today is going to be more about computers, And in this topic, we are going to learn about the Windows screen. We are going to learn about desktop and icons. We are going to learn about wallpapers, and we are going to learn about taskbar. So by the end of this class, you should know what a Windows screen is. You should know what desktop and icons are. You should know why they call it wallpaper and what we mean by taskbar, okay, with the computer. So these are the things we are going to learn. I know you have played with the computer in your previous topics or previous classes, but this time we'll see more things about this, or more about what the computers. Okay. Now, before I introduce the topic, I need to bring back parts of a computer. I know you have seen this computer everywhere. You can see we have the CPU box. Look at the CPU box. Then we have the CPU that is inside the CPU box. The CPU is the brain of the computer. The CPU is central processing unit. It is the brain of the computer. It does all the processing, all the calculation. Anything you ask the CPU to do, the CPU will process it. Then we have the keyboard. This is another part of the computer. The keyboard, it has keys on it that helps us to type our alphabet and numbers. We have the mouse. This is the mouse. The mouse helps us to point at things. Then we have our monitor. This is the monitor. The monitor helps us to see what we are doing on the computer screen. The monitor looks like a television set. Okay, so these are the various parts of the computer. We have other parts like the speakers. Okay, the speakers helps us to hear sound from the computer. It helps us to hear sound from the computer. Okay, now when we talk about the Windows screen, okay, the Windows screen is the first screen, is the screen you see when you put on the computer. Once you put on the computer, there will be this screen, and it is called the Windows screen. The Windows screen is made up of several parts. Okay, so the first screen you see when we put up the computer is called the desktop, because this is the part of the computer, the desktop. So once our computer is, when we press the power button, our computer comes up, it shows us the Windows screen. It loads itself. You see on the screen, if it's Windows, it will show Microsoft Windows. After finishing loading, it will display this screen for you. This is the Windows screen. So the Windows screen is having this part that is labeled called the desktop. Called the what? The desktop. Now, we also have other parts of the Windows screen. We can see small pictures on the screen. These are the what? The desktop icons. Now, for my computer, I can see 4 icons. I can see 4 small pictures on my desktop. These small pictures are found on the desktop. They are the what? They are what? The desktop icons, or you can say they are what? Icons. They are what? Icons. So icons are found on the desktop. Icons are found on the desktop. Then we have the start button. Look at the down part of your computer. By the left hand part of the computer, the down side, you have the start button. We have the quick launch bar. This area is called the quick launch bar. This area that you have this start with this beautiful Microsoft logo is called the start button. This area is called the quick launch bar, where programs that we open frequently stays. Then we have the taskbar. This part, this blue long streak, is called the taskbar. Then we have the notification area, or the notification tray. It is called notification area or the notification tray. Okay, then we have the mouse pointer. We have the what? The mouse pointer. So this is our desktop. So the first screen that we see when the computer boots is called the desktop. The first screen that we see when the computer boots is called the desktop. Why do we call it desktop? We call it desktop because it looks like a desk, but this time around is the computer desk. We all have desks in our houses. We all have desks in our schools. On the desk, you find a lot of things, maybe books, files, and many more. The same way, like the same thing happens to the computer. The computer also has a desk